Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Soul. And today, we're gonna do something a little bit different. If you have watched my channels before, you kind of know, like the stuff I usually review. I usually like to review like stuff like anime, and then there's like short films and like small like little anime that I've like touched upon. I've made like full videos about, but since like YouTube is not like really meant for that kind of content, I'm not that, like I don't get to review that stuff that often. And so when I introduced this series, the Good Morning Soul series, where I'm making content daily, it kind of like opened the floodgates. Like, maybe I can like review like short films and stuff like that, and stuff like I'm about to review and make it into a Good Morning Soul episode. And today I'm going to be talking about two small little things you can find on YouTube. They are commercials directed by Mamoru Hosoda. And if you are not familiar with Mamoru Hosoda, just know that I have a history with this guy. He directed movies such as The Boy and the Beast, Wolf Children, what else? Digimon the movie, Summer Wars. He's directed a lot of pretty well-known films, and Summer Wars, it was the first episode of Soul Show. It was the first thing I reviewed, and Digimon the movie is like, I don't even know where to go into. I don't know how to begin my backstory with that. I watched that movie at least a couple dozen times as a kid, and I've watched it a couple times since. And all of these films, or not all of them, but a lot of his films seem to have this weird theme where the internet is like a physical place. And like in Digimon the movies and Summer Wars, like the real world is kind of like this pasty, like it's a weird looking design. And then when you enter the internet world, the digital world, it's like this explosive, colorful, kind of like a weird visualizer type of feel. That's what the digital world is. And each of these films and even these commercials usually have like some kind of weird overlord in the middle, and then you can like bounce off the walls, and they all have the same look, and that goes for these commercials too. Now, let's get into this. Superflat Monogram is the first one, and these are commercials for like a Louis Vuitton like thing. The first one, neither of them really are commercials. They're kind of just like little films that happen to like have a Louis Vuitton thing in there. Like very, very strange advertisement. But Superflat Monogram, I'll just read the synopsis here. I don't know how to read this guy's name. Insert the art guy made this movie in cooperation with Louis Vuitton, the handbag producer. It is more commercial for Louis Vuitton than it is an anime movie. However, the animation is quite special. Very bad synopsis. I'm gonna give my own synopsis. The synopsis for the first film is this little girl runs into this strange, weird kind of creature. It's like an internet avatar come to real life. It kind of looks like a bear, but it's got crazy like eyes and it's colorful. And she's just fucking with this thing, and then suddenly it eats her. It literally eats her. And suddenly it's like Alice in Wonderland. This little girl gets transported into what is like the digital world of this film, and she is going on through this. She's going into this like trippy visualizer, like perfect like thing to get baked to kind of weird atmosphere. She's flying around. She's just like an on-rails shooter, like it's Child of Eden or something, but it's like, it looks like Digimon the movie for some reason. She's not scared. She's having a good old time for whatever reason, just flying through the world. And we see a lot of Mamoru Hosoda's like usual tropes and little visualizers that he's into. She's flying around, and she was on her phone like right before she got swallowed. The plot, if there is one, is like her getting her phone back. Like, it's kind of like at the end of this on-rail shooter, she gets awarded her phone back by like the internet. And after that, the plot is like she suddenly like it's all a dream, and then she's looking around, her friends pop up and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Come on. And that's the end of it. It's a very sweet little like perfect thing to just throw on Like, I love this type of stuff, right? Like, visually interesting. The music it's not like a continuous song, it's more like a bunch of sound effects with like little like beats like in between. Like the sound effects are really like the meat of the soundtrack for this thing. And for like a little like commercial that you can find on YouTube with like a couple thousand views, like it's definitely interesting. And then we have Superflat First Love, and this is a sequel that was made like six years after that commercial. But this one is not directed by Mamoru Hosoda. At least on Mao, it doesn't have any of the staff other than the art director. No, this guy is the art director and the director. This one's just shitty. Like, we have the character from like 6 years ago. She's a teenager now. She's walking outside of this like Louis Vuitton store, and suddenly she sees like another one of these like little internet avatar guys, right? And this one is like micro size, you know, it's just chilling, just walking around, and she's like, oh shit, like that thing, like you look like that thing that ate me all those years ago. And she's fucking with this one, and despite the fact that it's like a foot tall, you know, it just like Kirby swallows her into its mouth, and then suddenly she's going through another weird trippy adventure. But this one takes weird detours. I didn't even mention the beginning of this one, like the real world. It is no longer like this Mamoru Hosoda style. It's CG. All these like little people walking around are CG. They look awful. They look like complete trash. The main girl looks like complete trash. Generic ass anime girl high school outfit. And you know, we're basically, all of the good parts of this commercial are like the stuff we're just reusing from the last commercial, right? Sure, we got like some interesting designs on these like internet characters. The area she's flying around in is creative, but all of that is shit we've seen before. The idea that she's being transported and all of this is just reused material. Like, why wouldn't I just watch the first film again, right? And she's flying around, and then suddenly she goes, like, there's this big creature in the middle that's like the new overlord, I guess, that's taken over since she's been gone. And it's like this weird, like, cat-like, it looks like a fish too, with droopy eyes, you know. It's weird. It's like, it looks ruffled, it looks dirty, and suddenly it's just unleashing itself. And when it does, suddenly our characters are time traveled back to like Paris and whenever the fuck time. And look who's there, motherfucking Louis Vuitton, the fucking character, the guy. And you know, she hangs out with him for a bit. She takes a picture of him holding this internet guy, and then suddenly she's like, oh, I gotta go back, and like they hop into this trunk that for some reason is like what transported them there. And then, you know, after all that, she gets thrown back into the real world. Like, didn't even bother to go through like the internet place again, just suddenly in front of the Louis Vuitton store again. And look who's walking outside, motherfucking the Louis Vuitton guy again. I guess he's a time traveler too. And that's how we end the little short, is she meets Louis Vuitton. And God, like the difference in the mouse score is 6.67, which for Superflat Monogram, which is, you know, for a short film, that's pretty good. I gave it a 6, obviously, because I'm comparing these to actual like anime films and like long ass 4-hour series, so a 6 out of 10 is fine. Like, I almost gave it a 7, but at the same time I'm like, as good as it was, it doesn't have enough good to like warrant that much. And then I gave the other one a 3 because the other one was just trash. It was trash. It was a 3 minutes of trash. The other one was like longer, it was 5 minutes. You know, the other one had story, it had visuals, it had a unique like sound effects, sound design. like I would, like if I was just chilling, like in a world where I have free time, I would just throw on that first one just for the sake of it. I would show it to random people, like, oh man, let's watch just some random shit. Oh, I'll throw on Superflat Monogram because it'll make our eyes feel calm or something. And yeah, so those are the two little commercials, and if you watch them, you know, it's a thing to put on your Mal account. And when I say Mal, I mean myanimelist.com. I don't know if you guys have seen my like whole video about that yet. I haven't even filmed it yet, but who knows? Who knows if you guys have seen that? I'm talking ahead of time. So those are my like quickie rant reviews of these two commercials. I remember when I watched them, I tweeted about it, and it's just like, okay, no one really knows what I'm talking about. No one really gives a shit. But maybe if I put it into video form, maybe if I give them a little bit of perspective, maybe they will watch this trippy music, or not music video, this trippy commercial with this really cool animation. Like, maybe that's something they're into. I don't think most people give enough shit about like short films and like just I don't think they watch animation for the sake of it. But you know, that's something I like to do, so I thought I'd make a cool episode. And if you guys, I always would recommend, if you guys are listening to this, just to throw on the like video, and then maybe you can watch it alongside my voice. Who knows? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And I'm gonna be doing more short film stuff like this in the future, so hopefully you're into that. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and with that, I leave you.